Alright, I'm the redneck archaeologist Jackson Burns. Today we're talking about Teotihuacan and the similarities between the Mexican pyramids, or the complex of Teotihuacan, and the Giza pyramids in Egypt. The Teotihuacan pyramids are in Mexico, and on the other side of the world in Egypt are the what's called the Giza necropolis, or the Giza plateau. And basically these are built on the same, very similar. These pyramids are very similar. The Giza pyramids are much more pointed, while the ones in Mexico are kind of more rounded or whatever, and more massive. They're both built on the same alignment as far as the base of the pyramids, or the alignment of the pyramids, are both built on the same alignments on both sides. And there are other similarities that are amazing, and that whenever I show you, you will see the diagram of the way that these plateaus are made. Now I have in my hand actually pottery that's about it's 1,350 years before Cortez got there, so we're looking at 2,300 years old for this pottery, and this is from Teotihuacan, Mexico. Now this pottery, as you can see, pottery shards, there was some kind of destruction. There's a fire. You can see where it's been burned. This, like I said, this pottery is about 2,300 to 2,500 years old when it was destroyed, and it did come from the Avenidos de Muertos of the Teotihuacan complex. This is whenever I was doing research there many years ago. You can see that we have charcoal on the inside of this one. This is actually probably a remainder of some kind of a fire pot, or something that would create. This was probably a candle or some kind of a fire pot. As you can see, the discoloration from the outside to the inside, so the fire would have been on the inside. They would have used animal grease or human grease or whatever to make a fire and put a wick in, and this would be a lamp, more or less. You had containment vessels like this. You can see the edge, how thick it was. It's inside, and it was very smooth to the outside, and this was probably more for containing water. And then this other piece would be more like a vessel for food. You can see the bottom edge of it, the lip of it. This is the side of it. And as I said, these are 2,300 to 2,500 years old. This is another water carrying vessel, or possibly a cooking pot. This is the top edge, or the top lip of a vessel, most likely a water pot because of the smoothness of the inside. Non-porous, a little thicker, so this is probably a food. You can actually see diagrams on the outside, small ones, little etchings. Okay, this goes to Teotihuacan. Now the evidence that I have, that I stated before, that I did have as far as Teotihuacan being built on the same lines as the Giza plateau is whenever you take the diagram, the overlay of the Teotihuacan and the Giza plateaus over one another, you will come up with a strange anomaly that they almost actually match. So not only do you have the alignment of the pyramids that match, and even to a certain degree the building of these pyramids to match both sides of the world, and being built probably around the same time frame, maybe a little earlier in Egypt than Mexico, I'm not so sure, but you find a lot of similarities. So how could that have happened? Could there have been pre-Columbian, whatever kind of travelers from all over the world? I do think so, because there's evidence all over the world. Here's something that was picked up by myself in Mexico, and this is El Negrito. And I will hold it as an amulet, and you can see it is a figurine of a black man. He has a flattened nose, high cheekbones, is an African, bigger lips, and it's on a black pumice rock. And this was made in Mexico, actually closer to Belize, and this is what is called the black god El Negrito, and this is 2,500 years old. This amulet is. I did have it verified, and this was brought in by me several years back. My father-in-law was a federale government official, and it was given to me by them, and that is El Negrito. This is evidence. Now, as I was showing you, the evidence of as I said, this is a 2,500-year-old rock that was carved, an amulet, in the likeness of El Negrito, or the African that came to Central America, probably on the Gulf trade winds or the Gulf winds. Probably got lost, went to sleep, whatever, got washed away, cyclone blew away out into the ocean, and wound up in southern Mexico or Central America. This is the guy who most likely came across to build the pyramids of Mexico, Central America. Now there are over 4,000 sites right now, 2,000 have been uncovered and 2,000 still yet to be uncovered in Mexico and Central America, of pyramids. Now they're all over the place. They're in cities, they're in small places, there are single ones on top of mountains. I've been to a lot of those, like in Spotswood. There's a little parchment I have from Egypt, and this is the sun god Ram. Basically, we're looking at the writing. It's not anything like the writing in Mexico, so definitely the writing system is separate, is a different system. I'll bring that in closer, you can actually see that. And we do believe that, there are some strange things, such as there is a flying snake, which would be Quetzalcoatl. Or Quetzalcoatl, the winged or the flying feathered serpent of Mexico. This is kind of strange. Over pyramids, we have this snake flying over what looks to be a pyramid, and you can see that. I'll bring that in closer. Hopefully you can see that. Anyhow, so it's my theory that there are explorers from all over the world, and have been for many, 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 many years before Columbus. To be continued. I'm Jackson Burns, Redneck Archaeologist. I'm signing off.